Hey guys, welcome back to Eric Reacts with more Game of Thrones. This is Season 6, Episode 4, Book of the Stranger, and I'm hoping Sansa reaches the wall before Jon leaves. Knowing the pattern from the past, they're probably going to just miss each other, but I actually don't know where Jon will head after this, so maybe he stays just a little bit longer, enough for her to arrive. I mean, it's high time for the Starks to try and retake Winterfell, right? And Rickon is in danger, though they don't know that yet, but he's got to get saved somehow. Daenerys is in Vaes, Dothrak. I don't know how you pronounce that. People say that they're going to try to figure out how what to do with her soon, but I think she'll be the one to decide. I'm the one who knocks. And I don't know what she has in store for the Dothraki and how she'll get them on her side, but I'm pretty sure that's what's going to happen, and I can't wait to see it. It certainly seems like the High Sparrow has his claws in Tommen and will start to manipulate him. I'm just wondering if Tommen is actually beyond that, if Cersei warned him that would happen and told him to play along. I don't know what she's planning for her revenge, but it has to be pretty epic, right? And then Arya has her eyesight back too, and I want to see how powerful she's become. I don't think she was capable of facing off against the waif before she was blinded, but she was able to fight the waif without her sight. So what happens? What's next for her? What level up does she get a level up now that her eyesight's back? So I'm very excited for that. But we've got a lot of other storylines to catch up on, so let's dive right in. If you want to watch along with me, you can check out my Patreon in the link in the description below. The full reaction will have the footage included too. So let's get started.
They killed me, Ed, my own brothers. You want me to stay here after that?
Now is it Benjen? Yes! Tormund looks like... Hi, Jon. So, what you been up to? Oh, nothing. I just died, came back to life. Her stories are actually way worse than his.
We were children.
I was awful, just admit it.
You were occasionally awful.
Can you forgive me?
There's nothing to forgive.
Forgive me.
All right.
Aww.
All right, I forgive you.
Hand holding. Hand hold. Hold her hand. Oh. Oh, I thought she was gonna... Oh.
Winterfell is our home. It's ours. We have to fight for it.
I'm tired of fighting.
If we don't take back the North, we'll never be safe.
I was Kingsguard to Renly Baratheon.
Oh.
Before Renly was assassinated with blood magic.
That's in the past now.
Doesn't mean I forget.
Or forgive.
Or forgive. He admitted it, you know.
Who did?
Stannis.
Just before I executed him.
Well, they're never gonna get along, are they? You get better at anything? Doesn't look like it, really. Oh. Yeah. Wow.
I missed your name day. Go on.
It's a pony. Oh.
A falcon.
A Falcon. How many people knew of my travel plans with Sansa Stark? I shared my intentions with you, and no one else.
Wow.
Sansa has escaped Winterfell. I expect she's headed to Castle Black, where her brother serves as Lord Commander.
We should help her.
That was my instinct as well. Our Lord has spoken. The time has come to join the fray.
Oh.
You don't need slaves to make money. There haven't been slaves in Westeros for hundreds of years, and I grew up richer than any of you.
True.
We will give you 7 years to end the practice.
What? My nostril itches. Large,
J'aime
sorry.
aussi.
You wait so fat time.
Jelisk ilvi krenuntosi, do ilvira gerosi.
Slavery is a horror that should be ended at once. War is a horror that should be ended at once. I can't do both today. They'll underestimate us every time, and we will use that to our advantage.
You will not use them. They will use you. That is what they do.
Very attached to this knife.
Want to hear that story? Oh.
Yeri Voshteraki.
Oh boy. Oh boy. Oh. Ooh, dodged. Where'd you get a weapon from?
Told you. Very attached to this knife.
At 13? What?
Away. We have to go now.
We can do more than that. And you're going to help me.
What is she planning already? Oh, it's go. Is it going down tonight? Ah, Marjorie.
You know the seven-pointed star?
Septuagint reads it to me.
At me.
The gold I had, the wine I drank, the women I used, my ceaseless struggle to maintain my position. A collection of lies that would disappear in the light. The people I was trying to climb away from, they were closer to the truth than I ever was.
Oh my god. Is he asleep or is he beaten and bruised and...
I just want it to stop. Help me.
Still pretending to be frail. Oh my god. Move your butt. Oh.
Marjorie's safety is paramount.
Not to you.
You don't like Marjorie, do you?
Understatement.
Whether I like her or not, it's completely unimportant. The High Sparrows seized power knowing full well we'd bicker amongst ourselves instead of seizing it back. Here we are. Well done to us. Now the future of the Seven Kingdoms rests in his dirty peasant hands. Queen Marjorie will make her walk of atonement. Yes, Marjorie will repent her sins before the good people of the city.
Jeez.
Oh no. But if the king should call
the whole
on
thing
me...
will be over before anyone can call on you to do anything. When the High Sparrow's in custody, or dead, preferably, and Marjorie's back at Tommen's side, do you think the king will be angry at the outcome?
You hate these fanatics as much as we do. You hate what they've done to your son. Do you want Lancel back? Or have you given him up for good?
Ooh.
Theon Greyjoy, I said. He's dead.
Why didn't you escape with
Look
me?
at me.
Look at me.
You heard father was dead and you thought you'd claim the crown.
No.
No, I only heard he died after we docked.
You happened to show up on Pike right before the King's
I
moot.
didn't know. I don't want to be king.
What do you want?
You should rule the Iron Islands. Let me help you.
You know who I am?
Obviously.
A lord.
Yes. A lord.
Snape. Oh, she looked at the knife.
You're a good talker. You're a much better talker than Theon Greyjoy. You told me everything. All about the Stark boys, who helped them escape.
Oh.
How she did it.
Oh. She can go rest with Lupin now. You're gonna use the same unsanitary. Oh my god. Break the eye contact. He's like, oh, okay.
Winterfell is mine, bastard. Come and see.
Jeez.
Your brother Rickon is in my dungeon.
Keep her from me, and I will ride north and slaughter every wildling man, woman, and babe living under your protection.
You will watch as my soldiers take turns raping your sister. You will watch as my dogs devour your wild little brother. You are the son of the last true warden of the North. Northern families are loyal. They'll fight for you if you ask.
Come on, Jon. Let's go. Yeah.
أنا نساكرك أنا كورك. أنا ري دوثرا حتيفة جن. ما دوش خلينا نحكي يلاني فرش سريز يروى. يكال في نثير نحن. أوكي سين دوثرا كوي. على جيكسي ما بيجازرياتي نارما.
How many people you enslave? She is, only she is. Yeah.
Ieri voseci. Ieri vadrivoi.
Oh, whoa, what is this made of? Well, they're dead. Who's closing it from the other side? Oh, just as long. Oh. Oh. Flashbacks, season 1. Dang. Alright guys, really enjoyable episode. There is a bit of pushback against Jon leaving. He feels completely betrayed. I mean, I think he'll fight against the White Walkers again eventually, but he's fed up with fighting for now, and I understand him leaving, and I'm glad there's no calls of treason for him leaving. I have to imagine Ygritte had a pretty big effect on him too, wanting to leave. He knew what it was like to be free for a little bit. But Sansa arrives at Castle Black. What a nice moment to see Jon and Sansa reunited. Though, I'm not sure they ever had a line of dialogue with each other before this season. Sansa apologizes for being mean to Jon. I have to imagine that stems at least partially from Catelyn. Sansa always felt more like her mother's daughter, despite not having any scenes with her either. Not having many scenes with her either. Meanwhile, Arya seemed more like Eddard's daughter. And Catelyn's disdain for Jon might have influenced Sansa, is what I'm trying to say. But there was a little bit of playfulness between the two that I really liked. Sansa like, will you forgive me? Come on, forgive me. Even though he says there's nothing to forgive. But yeah, I would totally watch a family comedy of the Starks as children. That would be really fun. Melisandre chooses to follow Jon Snow now, which, very cool. Just don't go sacrificing any of his siblings, and I'm mostly okay with it, I guess. But yeah, Brienne, Davos, Pod, and Melisandre will all be traveling with Jon and Sansa. That's going to be fun to watch, especially with the tensions over Renly's assassination, and then Brienne executing Stannis. Though, can they really be that angry with her? She was just, like, carrying out her justice. I mean, they started the whole entire thing by kingslaying. Even if Renly technically wasn't the rightful king. I hope at least Davos and Brienne can get along, because they're both very honorable and upstanding people. Tormund seems to have a thing for Brienne. When she first came into Castle Black, he was like in awe, like, oh. And then when everyone was eating together, he was just like eating and like never breaking eye contact. Really funny. But Jon gets a letter from Ramsay. I knew Tormund would probably fight with Jon against the Boltons, probably without even asking. But that letter threatening to roll over the wildlings, it's completely their fight too. So Jon has some good allies to begin with. Not enough people yet, though. But we do have Littlefinger. So fun to see him on screen again. He knows he has Robin's ear because Lysa must have always said good things about him and told Robin to trust him. Littlefinger could have had Lord Royce killed for nothing if he wanted to. Robin seems like he's as insane as ever, though, being okay with making Royce fly even after being in his care for so long. But Littlefinger is mostly there to get Robin to declare the veil for Sansa. His plan is really coming to fruition. If he takes the north from Ramsay, Cersei will supposedly reward him. but I don't think that's his play. He would also have to turn over Sansa for that to work, and that would weaken his hold on the North. I think he means to stay allied to Sansa even after they take the North, and then use her to take King's Landing. But it'll be fun to see how things play out. I don't know that she has the military power to take King's Landing, even with the Knights of the Vale and the remaining parts of the North, but we'll see. The High Sparrow has his conversation with Marjorie and talks about how he suddenly gave up his life as a cobbler. How one day he realized it was just all for nothing. Marjorie, it's been such a long time since we've seen her manipulate someone like she did with Joffrey and with Tommen. I think she pretends to be somewhat interested in what the High Sparrow has to say, and I think she might be manipulating him a little bit. I don't know if he sees through it, but she is allowed to see Loras, and she tries to keep him strong. He wants to give up, and he wants to give in to the Sparrows and become who they want him to be. I honestly don't know which I'd rather go through, torture at the hands of Ramsay or torture at the hands of the Sparrows. They both try to break who you are and force upon you a new identity that is subservient to their cause. Loras and Theon were both once proud people. And well, Theon looks like he could be on his way back, but Loras is currently on his way down. And the High Sparrow has plans for Marjorie to conduct her Walk of Atonement. And Cersei uses this as a way to get Kevin and Olenna to sit and actually talk with her and Jaime on the small council. Olenna pledges her troops to take out the High Sparrow and get Marjorie and Loras back. Seems like a pretty sound plan, but we know things hardly go the way we want them or that they're supposed to on the show. But Theon finally goes home. Yara has her doubts about him at first, but he pledges to have her be the Queen of the Iron Islands. She seems to believe him at least a little bit. She had him like a death grip by the collar and let him go, which is good. He's definitely on her side. I don't think he has any plans about taking over the Iron Islands. But they don't know that Euron is back. He could throw a wrench in those plans. He will throw a wrench in those plans. The show didn't introduce him for nothing. But yeah, Theon's actions are still affecting other things in Westeros, though. Because of Theon, Ramsay knows Asha escaped from Winterfell with Bran and Rickon, and Ramsay knows how she did it, so he kills her before that happens. Before that happens to him. If Theon hadn't talked, she'd have been able to kill him there and deliver it back to the Starks, but no luck. Tyrion is trying to make a deal with the masters of the slave cities. Phasing out slavery over a 7-year period would definitely be an easier transition if the masters were actually going to listen. Like, the masters are just going to use the next 7 years to find ways to overthrow Daenerys. And also, it's freaking slavery. It's going to be more health for those enslaved for a very, very long time. Granted, this might be the only way forward while Daenerys' army doesn't have the power to overthrow everyone. Maybe this is just a way for Tyrion to stall until Daenerys comes back. Of course, by the end of the episode, we know that she's coming back with all her Dothraki friends. If he's waiting, though, he probably should have let Missandei and Grey Worm in on his plan. But yeah, how about Littlefinger's influence on this entire world? He said that line, we make peace with our enemies, not our friends, to Ned in season 1. And Tyrion repeats it, and now Missandei is repeating it halfway across the world 5 years later, and in a different language, no less. Yeah, his influence is just so far-reaching. It's amazing. Jorah and Daario made their way to Daenerys pretty quickly, and we see that however good Jorah is with swords, taking a man down with his fists, especially someone bigger and younger, is not an easy task for him at all. But speaking of Dothraki, Daenerys just murders the entire leadership of the Dothraki in one fell swoop. They didn't take her seriously until it was too late. But don't you think it's like a design flaw to have meetings in houses with like tons of straw or whatever easily flammable material was in that building? Daenerys was just like, push, I win. Also, what happens if someone actually accidentally pushes those braziers over? Is that called? They're called braziers. I guess the front door isn't supposed to be locked, but still, yeah, they made the Dothraki in the tent more hateable, so as characters, so we wouldn't feel too bad about Daenerys killing them. But I'm still worried about what kind of queen she'll become. We barely got to see Tyrion and Missandei advising her, and nothing from Varys just yet. I don't know. These moments when she kills horrible people are good. We want those horrible people to die. So it's fun to watch. But I'm afraid that even though she knows several tongues, the common tongue, Valyrian and Dothraki, the Dothraki tongue, I feel like the language she's most fluent in is violence. And yeah, I'm a little worried about that. But that last scene, it echoes the end of season 1 pretty heavily. Her naked coming out of the flames, Dothraki bowing to her. But going forward, Drogon is missing again. That sucks. So, but at least her other 2 dragons, Viserion and Rhaegal, I believe, they seem like they didn't kill Tyrion, so that's a good thing. So I don't think they're completely lost causes just yet, like I thought they might be. But I'm gonna give this episode 3.5 direwolves. A lot of moving the story forward and setting up bigger events. Jon and Sansa and the Wildlings versus the rest of the North. Littlefinger wants to get into the mix as well. Daenerys has so much of the Dothraki under her command now. I don't know if they'll go with her to Westeros, but at the very least, they'll take over Essos. Essos? Pretty easily, I think. But yeah, Tyrion was just saying he can't end slavery and war at the same time, but Daenerys can now. But alright, everyone, be sure to like, comment, share, subscribe if you want to watch the next 3 episodes right now. Make sure to check out the early access option on Patreon in the link in the description below. And thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye, friends.